Okay, hi everybody. We got five five stories to review. Six if you count Brother Power twice. Because this Brother Power was like reading two books. Was It's a class. We also got a classic review. Yeah, this that was his very first appearance. Anyway, you can put that down now. I'll tell you when we're gonna talk about that. Let's let's start by talking about the one I the one I didn't like, and and the big Walmart book of things, the 100-page giant, the one I felt need a little work. It's Zantana, yeah, Zantana, Zantana, however you pronounce it. Um, just needed work. Honestly, Zantana or Zantana, um, had a really stupid loophole. I mean, this guy, the one that she is currently at his casino, made a deal with the demon. You can show him now. Made a deal with the demon, and he says he roofied. He says something to the effect of he roofied the flowers, those flowers right there. Um, and she tells him that they she wants to go to his cousin, her cousin's, her cousin's. Put the book down now. Her cousin's magic show because that's important to him. And yeah, she doesn't. Which leads me to my question. Why did the guy just not say, oh, sure, I'll go to your thing, whatever? I mean, if they're magic, people aren't going to notice anyway. Let's be honest. Magic flowers run on a completely different ball game. I mean, in the DC universe alone, you have Dr. Fate, a homeless person that controls, is essentially the Sorcerer Supreme. I believe that's the term they use for him, too. Which they don't have Dr. Fate in there, Mom. You were checking to see. Okay. The story I did like was Constantine. The art was really, really good. It looked almost like real people. But Bob, I'm sure you're thinking, you hate Constantine from Walmart. And you will always give it a bad score. No, not this time. Because John Constantine goes with this girl who claims to be like his daughter. Anyway, redheaded chick claims to be his daughter, and all of a sudden she she takes him to her mother, the mentalist, the hospital, mental asylum, whatever. Um, and says something that really struck home with me. Remind me of my time in the hospital. That she sees she sees Constantine as the person who came to her door, was a hippie and all that, and that the daughter says to her basically that he is preserved, to him basically, that he is preserved in amber and will always remain that way no matter what no matter what he does, which I have friends like that, that I'm sure we all do, that no matter what they do, they do, no matter how bad of a person they get, I will always see them as that person. Um, it, it hit me right here, right in my Batman shirt, right in the feels, past my boy boobs, and onto my heart. Now to talk about, oh yeah, uh, yeah, we'll talk about that one eventually. Now to talk about the story, the reason I marked it, the reason connecting this book with this book, the reason I thought this guy, Brother Power, was going to be in the Walmart Swamp Thing, because I know he appeared in Swamp Thing. Yeah, and why I labeled this a Please Marvel DC video. I know he appeared in Swamp Thing, and I know that um he is also an avatar of dolls or innocence or something like that. But I, well, I'll explain it to you. You know, the thing I thought was leading Swamp Thing a couple of reviews back out of the swamp thing, the ghost light. The ghost light was leading Swamp Thing out of the swamp. I thought it was Brother Power. I thought, sure, it was. It was another avatar or something like that. Where's the? Well, didn't see that. Okay. Anyway, um, hopefully I don't get copyright strike. That's okay. The the ghost light was leading him out of the swamp, but it turned out it wasn't Brother Power. It turned out to be this guy. I think DC that there's there's still time for them to do another story with him in the Walmart Giants. People are still alive. It's still an opportunity. Artists are still around, you know. I know the guy that wrote Brother Power originally, the guy that he's not around anymore. But there's got to be at least one other Brother Power fan besides Bob at DC Comics. I'd be surprised if they didn't switch that up at the very last second and say, oh, no, that's not Brother Power. That's this new guy. He's brand new, and people love new characters, right? He's never going to appear again. So, and if he does, hey, I welcome him. But, yeah. Anyway, if they never give an answer to where Brother Power went, and I already told Garrett, the new guy at the comic book store, the guy, well, more accurately, the guy that's running it now, what what I thought and that whole thing. That um I have my own answer in my head. Eventually, I hope y'all will read it, but that's way far off in the future. But for now, Endgame Part One. You like Part One? Anyway, um, so and even if I never pick up another issue of this, Brother Power, it was a good book. Honest, it was. It was far superior to a lot of old books, but I'd say on a classic scale from 5 to 1, I'd give it a 4. But on a regular scale, oh yeah, hands down, good book. And now back to this. There's one more story I forgot to talk about, and it had everybody in it. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It had the Spectre. It had Steve Trevor. It had all of the Justice League Dark, basically, besides Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's representative, as I said, was Steve Trevor. I don't know if Zantana was in that one too. Zantana, however you pronounce her name. It had everybody. It was just awesome. Um, I'd like DC to do more stories like that, but like I said, it really had no personal connection to me. So, um, yeah. Overall, I, I'd like to rate the stories separately, but then we'd be here forever. So, just know it was a good book. Brother Power gets a 5 by modern day standards, 4 by regular standards. I picked this up mainly because DC does not have this in the DC Universe app archives. They don't have a lot of mention of Brother Power. They only have one, and it was there. I didn't read it, but now it's gone, so I had to pick it up in in floppy. It's too old to actually be in stores. They don't sell reprints of this. And like I said, there's only one of the Brother Power books in the DC archive. Everything else, including the Geek from Vertigo, has been scrubbed clean. So I might be picking up the second half of this original story. But if I never do, just know it was a good book too. So until then, Bob out. Okay, let's see what the damage is.